I met a Gypsy.
You guys have the Prospect app. Can you bring up, like, what's the website just so we can show people?
You would have to cast your phone. We don't. You'd have to go to the Apple App Store or.
Oh, that's right.
Google
Go to Vurb. Just go to Vurb.com. Vurbmoto.com.
Yeah, I unfortunately do not own Vurb.com.
Yeah. So the Prospect app. Do you want to just explain the app and how it works? Because we're probably going to be talking in and out of it with like all of the stuff.
It's like where to even start with this, right? So our mission is simple as it is bold: unite the sport. So the biggest issue is everything in amateur motocross or even pro motocross is siloed. Feld, MX Sports, Winter Ams down in Florida, the Gold Cups out here in California, all the 2X promotion stuff, Harold Martin with Dirty 100 and Springedinger Ponca. All of it is just siloed information. And our whole goal was to defragment everything. Just bring it to one spot and be just this center point of everything where whether you're a scoring provider, a track, a promoter, AMA, NMA, I don't care who you are, just we want to be the center hub to find everything. So luckily we've got a great deal with MX Sports. We're the official fan engagement platform of MX Sports now, and Harold Martin with the Dirty 100 just came on board as well. So, we're aggregating so much data now that you used to not be able to find, or maybe you could, but it would take you an hour to find freaking Minios results from 2022.
Yeah.
If you were on the app right now, you'd be able to type in Minios and click 2022, and boom, it's at your fingertips now without having to search for an hour. No joke. I remember 2 years ago, it was Thanksgiving. I was at my house. I wanted to watch Minios live timing. I went to Vurb, and it was the wrong damn live timing link. I went to Racer X, wrong damn live timing link. So I go to Google, and all the ones that were SEO'd on there were like 2022 and 2023. It took me 45 minutes as Wes as Vurb Moto, 45 minutes to find Minios, our biggest amateur motocross event happening entry-wise, it is the biggest.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a live timing link.
As it was happening.
And I just remember being like, I cannot wait. And we were working on the app at this time, and I was like, I cannot wait till we can solve this problem.
Yeah.
So I think through this, we've just learned that because we're the center point, our business model supports every other business model. We're not trying to be live timing.
Yeah, it's like
scoring.
hub and spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to have everybody else to be successful, but we can also help everybody else be successful in their own right. So we can. Our whole goal is to get more people to ride dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Race dirt bikes, ride dirt bikes, and there's a multitude of ways we incentivize people in-app to do exactly that. So, ideally, we'll set up our own little friend group here, and every race that we do, we go get points. And what's going to happen if I got more points than you?
Yeah. You're going to get some points.
You're going to want to beat me. So there's tons of things that we're working on, such as that, where you can have a little friend group. So there's rankings, and I'm 168,000th, I think.
What am I? I've got the app. Let me figure it out.
Yeah, look.
Keep going.
You're probably going to be higher than me because I think I only got like some Washougal results in there. I need to ask Chris, our developer, if we can pull in my 2002 Loretta's results. Can we get some archive results in here to boost my standings? But ideally, yeah, we'll make it so. Yeah, I might be 160,000th, but I could be number one in our friend group. So again, just finding all the ways that we can incentivize people to ride dirt bikes. And here we are. We got Griff looking up my my 32nd place at Loretta's here.
I'm on my app.
Let's see what you are.
All right. So how do I find me? Sign in.
No. You don't have. Do you have to sign in?
No, maybe not.
Hit a little magnifying glass in the top left.
Oh, here we go. All right. Riders. I'm searching myself. But yeah, the apps look so good. Muri out of California. Oh, I can follow myself?
Yep. You can follow other riders. We've basically taken all the great things we loved about Strava, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Literally every social platform. And we're working on building all the fun things about each one of them into this. And granted, there's a lot of still technological barriers that we're currently working on in our sport. Number one being there's no GPS. So it can't work quite like Strava yet.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of GPS tech coming that we hope to be able to integrate at some point in time. So even down to scoring and results, though, again, all those are siloed with different scoring providers, different promoters and everything. So getting everybody on the same page has definitely been a work of art in itself. But I think our sport's here and we're ready for it.
Dude, so I am 96,000th in the country,
All
which
right.
is pretty sick.
Okay,
That's
okay.
my all-time rank.
Okay.
I've got zero.
Griff says it's pretty accurate.
I've got 0 third place finishes. I've got 0 first place finishes. But I do have 2 second place overall finishes.
Okay.
And I don't know where they would come from.
Well, if you scroll down, it'll show you your most recent results. So if you're not signed in, though, it might not show you.
Bro, I actually did fuck this. Well, I kind of fucked over the World Vets thing because you know how they do the team race at World Vets?
Yep.
So you need a 30 plus, a 40 plus, and a 50 plus.
Okay.
So Maddie did the 30 plus, Azza did the 40 plus, and I did the 50 plus. And I got
cheated.
second. So, and then, so I got 26 points. I went 2-3 for second overall.
Look at that in the plus 50 class.
In the plus 50 class. But dude, this honestly is awesome. Like the fact that I can just look that up. And I mean, even for us, so like when we're researching videos, the fact that there's this platform, there's just so much that can happen because this is here.
Yeah. Well, we even have an announcers tool that we'll give out to announcers at events. So whether you're at Loretta's or the Echicani Loretta Lynn qualifier, Dean Dias was like, hey man, I'd love to be able to, like, is there some kind of tool? I'm like, actually there is. So it goes along with live timing, but you can click Jace McAlpine. It gives you a drop down AI analysis of Jace Alpine based on his race results, how often he races. So you can actually sit there and sound like you know everything about you, even though you might know nothing. So it'll help the broadcasting side of our sport tremendously, especially in the amateur world. Like, of course, in the pro ranks, the 40 dudes that are out there probably pretty good. But I don't know, say there is some.
There would have been some dudes in the World Supercross style one that I didn't know about.
So either way, we have this awesome announcers tool that's not part of the app, but I mean it is, but it isn't. It's
like a back end
part. We're trying to look at all the problems that we feel like we can solve, and I feel like we're doing a very good job of it. And again, it took the better part of the last year and a half to make everybody realize that we're here for the good of the sport. I think everybody keeps like being like, there's a wolf in sheep's clothing here. And we're like, no, like our mission statement is literally to get people to ride dirt bikes and race dirt bikes. Because if that happens,
everyone wins. Yeah.
Someone's going to go buy Yamaha, and then Yamaha's going to be like, oh, hell yeah, we can spend more money in the sport. They're going to come spend it in the sport. And I want them to spend it with you, with us, with Swap, Transworld. I don't care who it is. Rising tide floats all ships. So that's 100% our mentality. And ironically, that's literally been how since we started. Going back to you wanting to send us videos. I didn't care that you were MX Daily. I just always wanted Vurb to be the place to go.
Yeah, and it's a very good point because like I was just a random fucking dude in Australia that literally hit you up on Facebook Messenger.
That's awesome.
And just started having Facebook chats with you, sending
Did you
links.
poke me?
I don't think not in that chat. Maybe in a motorhome. So. But you guys were so receptive to like what I was trying to offer, and like gave me a shot essentially.
I think I was never a cool kid in school or anything.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know, being an all-inclusive, good feeling thing, because so many people started following in our footsteps and trying to do what we were doing, except they created like this rivalry. And I was like, there's no point in that. I don't want that. Honestly, if you guys want your content on my site, that's great. And it just, I don't know. I've just always been crazy open-minded about having everybody be part of something bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's helped my career.
Yeah.
And even down to production. Like we've done these freaking massive productions now. And because of that, and because I've worked with, whether it was you, Swan, Garth, a million videographers, when we do a imagination and I need 40 people in every work of life, from grips to camera dudes to live programmers, I got a Rolodex of people and I'm able to call everybody and bring everybody in on one epic shoot. So because I've been friends with everybody and kept it that way, it's actually helped us do way bigger things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that Vurb has a track record of like you guys created a thing that didn't exist before. You created a thing that was way ahead of its time. And I think that prospects is like the next version of that. Like this,
Yeah.
I've known about it and I've been a part of it for probably like the last 2 years, realistically.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know, this is solving this problem. This
Yeah.
is solving this problem. And I think that you're in the same position again that you were with Vurb the first time.
Yeah.
Is that you're doing a thing that a lot of people probably don't understand. On face value, you're probably like, I don't really get it.
So true. So true.
You know, and now you're like, you spent a long time with Vurb convincing people of what was possible and what you guys could do with the product of Vurb. And I think prospects is another version of that.
It's next lineage of it. Yeah. I've always, we always talk about the rat race, and it's something that's hard not to fall into the trap of just doing what everybody else is doing, because media is such a big thing and you need to do what everybody else is doing. But if you want to truly stand out and make real money, you got to go left when everybody else is going right. So I've always looked at my whole career that way of like, all right, if everybody else is doing that, I got to find something hard left and figure out what to do there. And going back to the investment side, there was a lot of times it doesn't make sense to do X, Y, and Z, but you do it just to stand out, which helps you get jobs or get noticed or get more clientele or advertisers, right? So standing out always helped us. Being a sore thumb sometimes is a good thing. So yes, prospect is definitely I mean, dude, we've been dreaming about this for the better part of the last 13 years. I remember I have blueprints of this from 2013. And at that point in time, it just wasn't even possible.
Yeah.
Even in the past 3 years, what's become possible for much cheaper. I mean, had we done this in 2020 when we wanted to, I mean, we're already invested millions in literally our collective life savings. Had we started in 2020, we would have needed 5x that.
Yeah.
So because of AI and the tools and the development speed and things that you can do now that are just way different that, I mean, you probably know on your side of development now that you're a freaking genius. There's just so many things that are possible a lot faster, more efficient. So, the possibility of what's happening is literally, it's the perfect timing, just like Vurb in 07. Technology wasn't really ready for us back then, and we had figured out how to do certain crazy things that helped pioneer. So same thing with this. It's just perfect timing to do exactly what we're doing. And had we tried, had it have actually worked a long time ago, I don't even know that we'd be on the starting line. We wouldn't have made it. We would have drowned.
Yeah. So so for people that are listening to the pod, go to the App Store now, download the Prospects app. It's
whatever device you are. Yep.
Free to download and just check out what it actually offers at the moment. But what right now, functionality wise, what value is this adding to the people that are going to download this right now?
With all the amateur nationals going on right now, we got Daytona, we got Freestone, we got Spring-a-Ding, Day in the Dirt happening at the same time, World Minis coming up, Cal Classics coming up. Everybody wants to know where live timing is. I would say that's kind of our base right now is live timing. But what's cool is we have enhanced live timing. So you're able to, on resultsmx.com or escore.com, liveviewtiming.com, they all have a good UI for the data, but it doesn't save any of the data in the right way or like lap times and everything. So we're caching all that. So you're able to find it right after your race. So we have an enhanced version. So you go there, and if Jace McAlpine, whoever, is in 7th place, and the reason I say Jace Baker is I was looking at Daytona live timing earlier today, and he was 7th in schoolboy. So anyways, you can click drop down, you're able to see all his lap times, but then what's cool is you're able to then go to his profile, that we have all his results on our side. So now you're able to go to Jace Baker's profile, see all his, his ranking this year, his points he's got this year, all his race results this year, and then if you want to compare him to anybody in his class and see how he's stacking up. So especially on the brand side, you're really able to do some very intelligent scouting and figuring out who you may or may not want to be involved with on a sponsorship level even. So, but even as a fan, as a parent, as a grandparent, as a kid themselves, there's just so much data that is now all in one place that it's never existed before. So,
Yeah, even like a granddad whose kid's racing and he's not at his race, he can literally open up his app, find his kid, grandson, and watch him race.
So like Reciba, for example, I was at Loretta Lynn Air Qualifier a couple weeks ago at Mesquite. He's a fast-ass kid, and he won Super Mini a few years back, but he's got 6 styles. So anyways, on the app, you can follow someone. So I followed him, testing the functionality of my own thing. So now I'm getting updates about him. and seeing exactly where he's at. And in my feed, it's literally letting me know, hey, Reciba just finished whatever in 250B.
That's
So
so
now,
sick.
now you're able to follow kids all around the country, and it's just like a Facebook feed. You're able to choose who you want to follow, and then instead of having to go to 8 different websites, cool, man, all your friends right here. I can see exactly what everybody did today on a feed. It's pretty unbelievable, honestly. Like, as we've developed this, there's things that have just been happening that I'm like, I just can't believe this is real. So I don't know. Pretty much every day I wake up and it's like, hey, we figured out how to connect this, and this. And I'm just like, I never thought this was going to be possible.
There's another thing that you guys are doing in the app, which we're going to partner on you guys with from the jump. So there is a sponsorship component of this. So essentially, who do we sponsor? So we're SOTA Fuel, where we want to start supporting the young amateur motocross races, but like, I don't know, I'm not going to every national.
Yep.
What if there was a place where I could register my business, build some tiers of sponsorship, and you make some things like, all right, we want a good social media following, we want someone that's going to be able to post for us, and we don't necessarily want the fastest kid, but I just want the kid that's racing every single weekend. So how do I find that kid? Well, we are on Prospect.
Yep.
And we're registered, so SOTA Fuel. So starting, I don't know when exactly.
March 31st is the kickoff.
So starting March 31st.
Of our sponsorship zone. We're calling it Draft Day.
Draft
Day
Day
for motocross.
So this will come out right before that. So that's good timing.
Very cool.
So
yeah, if you're listening to this right now, get on the app and you get sponsored by SOTA Fuel.
Yeah. So we're doing a thing where there's going to be different tiers of sponsorship.
Yep.
So if you want to get sponsored by SOTA Fuel, then you can by being on the Prospect app, and we're going to be picking people. So we'll probably just set tiers, and if you meet a certain criteria, then you're instantly going to get X amount off. So there'll be like maybe a 10%, 20%, 30%.
Yep.
And then there'll be people that we will find that we will just give like a full, proper sponsorship with. I'll try and help out with some other stuff, as well as hydration. But so that's another cool thing that you guys are doing.
Means
money, gear, or whatever you need.
Helmets.
Yeah, whatever you need, bro.
Yeah, so I don't think we properly explained this before, but we're automatically propagating all these statistics and results. That's why you're in there. You didn't go set that up. If you've raced and that race has gone through trackside or any live view, my laps, any kind of the systems in our sport, eScore, fast laps, all these people's data comes into the app, right? So if you've raced, that data's in there. Now, granted, if it's a local race that they're hand scoring and isn't going into trackside, there's a few other scoring providers that we're working on to get involved as well. And if you are a track or a promoter that's using a different scoring system outside of trackside, we'd love to have the results. We just got to work on some relationships there with the scoring providers. But all this information's automatically propagated. So if you go race, your score increases. So you as SOTA Fuel now can set your 10% tier can differentiate between a 20% tier, a 30% tier, or a full factory ride based on someone's race analytics, again, incentivizing people to race, and a scoring calculator. So you can, as a brand, you'll be able to use the Prospect scouting tool to set, like, I want someone 50% social, 50% racing, and our algorithm automatically calculates how valuable someone is based on the metrics that you're setting. It's pretty unbelievable. So some brands might only care about race results, and it's pretty crazy to see the difference when you slide our little scale, when you only care about 100% race results, and then you slide it all the way left to just caring about social. There's going to be some brands that are like, I only care about social. And the cool thing is you'll be able to, like 65 riders, a super mini, 125, you'll be able to differentiate all these different classes, all the different states, even down to the city they live in.
Well, so for example, we want to sponsor a kid, boy, girl, I don't care how old they are. I want to sponsor a kid with SOTA Fuel that race every weekend. They're in Cali, so we can help with some content and getting some photos and whatever. And I actually have the relationship. I don't know who that kid is. I got zero idea, but through this platform, I'm going to be able to have a very good idea of somebody. I'm going to be able to look at their Instagram. I'm going to be able to see, like, who's the kid that's racing every single weekend in California that we can help, that does big races, that's trying to do this thing properly,
So we looked at this yesterday, so I'm already prepared with this. So our 2026 rankings, Reagan Heighton, she's number 1 in the app right now for 2026. She's got 10,308 points, which means she's been racing
every single week.
every damn weekend. Now, this is strictly race results. This isn't, no one on the front end in the user experience can see what their social scores are, but a brand can. So what's cool now, we can do this drop down. You want someone in California. Well, guess what? Reagan Heighton is still number 1 in California. Mavis Alessi, Connor Berglund, Ace Verkamp, and Brock Barber, top 5 in California right now.
So it's just all right there.
All right there, dude. So you can figure, like, in the back-end tools that you have to be able to discover all this and then dive into it way deeper than just an athlete themselves can. So it's pretty crazy with data and aggregating all that data and the statistics that we're able to calculate because of it. It's going to be mind-boggling as we continue to develop this into what it's already unbelievable, but
well, as people start using it more, it just becomes its own thing.
Oh yeah,
you know. You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio